Hello everyone, welcome back for more Pokemon Legends Arceus RNG. Today we are going to talk about mass outbreaks or swarms or whatever you want to call them, because these things are absolutely bonkers when it comes to shiny rates. So I'm going to bring up the web tool real fast. We'll bring up the web page here. So this is the shiny rates, basically. And so, as I mentioned before, you get a base rate of 1 in 4096. Well, and then extra rolls just increases your odds. Look at this, mass outbreak, 25 extra rolls. Comparison to the shiny charm only gives you 3, so holy cow. And of course this stacks. If you get a mass outbreak, you have the shiny charm, you've done perfect research on the Pokemon at level 10, you get 32 rolls, 1 in 128.49 chance of getting a shiny. That is insane. But it's not perfect, so that's why we have RNG. So let's go ahead and talk about that, because now we actually have a working method for Outbreak RNG. So I'm going to bring up our map here. Oh, well, rather than that, we're just going to travel. So I've got an Outbreak here that is Eevees, and I want to catch myself a shiny Eevee. So let's go ahead and go to the Snowfields camp. Actually, before we go to camp, one thing to note is that you're going to want to go to a camp that is far enough away from the mass outbreak that they will not load in, because once you have encountered outbreaks work different from normal RNG, and once you have encountered it, those Pokemon are set in the game's memory. So you want to be at least 100 meters away. So like this camp is fine, this camp is fine. All the camps are fine. They're all far enough away from the Eevees that you won't encounter them. But just keep that in mind. So that's first things first. You want to be far enough away, because you'll see in the RNG later. So yeah, that's fine. Let's go ahead and we're going to go there. We're going to go to the Snowfields camp. It doesn't matter. So Lincoln has updated his PAYNX reader with basic support for this. I've kind of modified it a little bit. So, not that one. So this one requires a little less input on your part. It still reads out of your memory and everything. And you can see a little bit of some sample outputs of me doing some checks before. So, yeah, I've just named it this. So I will post it into my Discord after this, so that everyone can see it. This reads from memory. It gets your group ID for you, so you don't have to look it up. And so all you have to do is you run it and enter the number of shiny rolls. Now keep in mind, add 25 to your normal. So Eevees, I have level 10 research, so it's 27 rolls, because you 25 plus 2. And now just let it work its way through, and it will give you your RNG, basically. Okay, great. This is actually not so bad. So let's talk about what this means. First off, this is your seed. You don't have to care about it. But you do care about advances, respawns, and of course you don't have to care about this. Again, IVs don't matter. These are just things that other people can use to copy your Pokemon, I guess. But the respawns and advances are important. So the way that advances happen for outbreaks is if you go back to town and then return to the same outbreak, it advances the RNG by 1. And then of course respawn this says how many respawns into that outbreak, because there's always 4 Pokemon in an outbreak. And then after that, they will respawn. So there'll always be 4. So this one right here will be the 3rd respawn. So after you kill or catch the first 2, the 3rd one would be shiny, and that's in 3 advances. So advancing is actually not that hard, but what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to save in between each time you advance. So go ahead and save. And the reason for that is because every time you go back to town and come back, it will advance by 1. But if you go back to town and it's different, let's say we go back to town and it is no longer Eevees. Let's say it turns into Bergmites or something like that. Well, now you have to go back. You have to reload your save. So if you didn't save it in between a couple of advances, you have to do all those advances over again. So yeah, Okay, so the Eevee stuck around, so that's good. We're gonna go back. So now we have two advances to when we're gonna get our shiny. So we're gonna go ahead. I'm gonna save again, and just get used to it. Just save every single time you get back there, because of the way outbreaks work. There's a chance that you won't get the same Pokemon. You might get a different one, or the outbreak might end or something. So if you save, that way you could just reload and make sure it becomes a reality. We can't predict outbreaks yet, so you just have to find what you want. Alright, we're at Advance 1 now. And I'm just keeping track of this in my mind, but you could very easily just run the script again. Takes a little while to spit it out because it's searching through memory for the right seed. And then it's going to spit out. There you go. So we're Advance 1 now. You want to get to Advance 0. Not Advance 1. You want Advance 0. And it will be right. Alright. Return to the village. So as long as the EVs stick around, we'll be good. Alright. And back to town. And you see it changed to Mamoswines. So this RNG, this right here, won't stick around. It's going to be completely different. So you got to go ahead and reload. Because if you don't, you know, you're going to have to RNG all new again. Sometimes you might find something more interesting. So keep that in mind. But yeah, so that's why I'm saving. Because if I had only saved that one time, I'd have to go ahead and advance 3 more times because it doesn't save your position unless you actually save the game. Alright, so luckily all we have to do is go back to town and then come back and we should be good to go. And then our third respawn should be a shiny Eevee from there. And after this I'll talk about reseeding, because that is another very, very handy tool to have in your arsenal, and something we only recently discovered. So, alright, let's see. And okay, it's still Eevees. Perfect. Going back. And I'm going to run the script again, just to prove. Alright, 27 shiny rolls. And there you go. See, it says Advance 0. So we know we're good. Alright, so now it's time to go over to the Outbreak. As you can see, I already have a pin in it because I've actually done a couple of EV Outbreaks. Because you gotta get enough shinies for every single one of the evolutions. So I'm gonna fly on over there. So, yeah. So we just have to kill or catch 3 of these, or make them run away. These EVs do run away fairly easily. And you'll also note that I saved, so that in case something goes wrong, I can redo this. Remember, stealth sprays are your friends. As are Ultra Balls. Alright, so there's our adorable little mutant fox thingies. Alright, so this is, if this one catches, this will be respawn 1. There it is, there's respawn 1. That's respawn 2. Alright, so now this next respawn should be shiny, unless one of these runs away, in which case it will respawn. Okay, let's see. See, there you are. Third respawn, shiny. Now we just have to catch it. And of course, once you see it, you could do this thing, you can save. Because the Pokemon are saved now. And now you can repeat this as many times as needed. Perfect. It was sleeping, so we're just gonna get a free catch. Perfect. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to actually RNGing once you find the advance you're happy with. And with this many rolls, sometimes you will see a case where there are multiple shinies in one advance. That's pretty nuts. Anyways, let's go ahead. I'm going to save and go back to town, and let's see if maybe we'll get a different outbreak or our outbreak will change, because I'll want to show off reseeding, because that is something you're going to want to do sometimes, especially if this is if it's a very valuable outbreak, something that you really want to get shiny, but you see that there's an enormous amount of advances. Because going like, 8 times isn't that big a deal, but 30? Eh. Alright, it's stuck as EV, so I'm going to go back here and, I'm going to go back here and I'm going to show off reseeding with these EVs. Because if you kill, capture, or run away, or whatever, to at least one of the Pokemon, what will happen is when you return to town and come back, it will reseed the spawn, the mass outbreak. It will give it an entirely new seed. So for reference, here we have right now, these are what the advances were. So we're going to go ahead and run this again. And you'll see, after it spits out our information, it is entirely different now. Entirely different. So it gave it an entirely new seed. Now, things to note about this is that a mass outbreak consists of 12 Pokemon. It consists of the first 4, the initial 4, and then 2 sets of respawns. So 12 Pokemon total. If you kill or capture any Pokemon in an outbreak and then reseed it, it will still track the number of Pokemon you've caught. So, this is respawn 8. I've already caught at least 4 of them, so this is, and odds are at least one of them ran away, so it's very unlikely that even if I were to go advance one time, I would be able to get this. They would stop respawning before the shiny came. So keep that in mind. You'd want to do things like initial spawns, which are, guaranteed to be there as long as there were respawns. So just keep that in mind. But otherwise, reseeding is very powerful, especially if you see something like, oh, I've got 40 advances for this Quillfish outbreak, but I really, really want a shiny. We'll just go over there, catch or kill one of them, return back to town, and then it will have reseeded. Like, let's go ahead, let's see Beautiflies here, over here. Beautiflies, I don't know how many rolls I have, so for default, I'm just going to say 26. I don't know if I have it completed or not. Alright, so we're going to run the script, and we'll see how many advances we have. 28, gosh, this is okay. This is perfect for this is a perfect example for reseeding. 28 is huge, and they're all the way over here. Okay, and they're far enough away that they won't have loaded in. And yeah, so we're gonna fly on over here, and we're just gonna take care of one of these things, and then we're going to go back to town, reseed it, and see if that changes. And it will change. We'll see if it's any better the next time. Just giving a couple examples of that. Hey there, Alpha Rapidash. I'm going to catch you later. I might catch you later. I mean, put you in a Pokemon. Alright. Fun fact. They've discovered the capture rates of the various Pokeballs. Okay, perfect. Oh yeah, what am I on with this? Yeah, only research level 4, so it is 26. I was right. And the light balls are a tier below, but the Gigaton ball is the same catch rate as an Ultra Ball. Just to note that. Oh, something I should have done. Oh, wait, I could still save before I go back. So once you do that, once you catch your Pokemon, make sure you save. Because you don't want to try to do the whole reseeding thing and then have it change to a different Pokemon. Alright, let's go back to town. Nope. Let's go back to town this time. And now we'll go back to the Beautifly, and we'll have an entirely different seed, and maybe it'll be less advances this time. Or even better, right there. Can happen. I got a Togepi outbreak the other time where it was initial advance 0, and one of the initial spawns and one of the later advances was shiny, so 2 in 1 Outbreak. That's pretty handy. All right, 26. Let this run. All right, so, and you see that. And then now we're at Advance 5, Respawn 4. So we've only caught one of these Pokemon, so we know that we will be able to reach this respawn. If we're really want to make sure, you can go to Advance 14, Initial Spawn 3. So that means that it will be one of the initial 4 that are on the field. So you don't even have to respawn anything. So that's all there is to Outbreak RNG. It's pretty simple. Just the thing to note about it is you don't want to be too close to the camp, because you don't want to set those initial 4 in stone, especially if you would, like, basically if you'd gone over to the camp right now, didn't catch any of them, and then went back to town and then came back, those 4 would be set in memory, so they wouldn't change. So then even if you made it to this Advanced 14 and looked over, you wouldn't find a shiny there, because it'd just be the same 4 from here. So just keep that in mind. So make sure you go far enough away that they don't load in. And other than that, use reseeding when necessary, and save between advances so that you don't lose your place. That's all I've got. As more RNG is discovered, if non-CFW methods are discovered, I will make sure to keep everyone posted about it. And check the Discord for this script that I wrote, because it is slightly different from Lincoln's version, in that you don't need to know your group ID, even if it is a little bit less efficient. I will catch you all next time.